Okay, I think we have about 30 minutes for me to present sort of what I've learned since joining Coral about what's out there and how to find open educational resources. But this is by no means comprehensive, so I'd love it if people who are online could post in the stream their favorite places to find OER and their search strategies, and I'm hoping that I can compile this all into, we do have a wiki, and we started to put up some information about sources, and I want to really expand that. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of websites today, and just know they're all going to be available in a collection for you to access later. So if it kind of goes by and it's a blur, then you can go back and study it later. Okay. So what are we doing today? We probably won't need a piece of equipment like this, but we're going to first define what it is we're looking for, what we expect is out there in the world of OER, specifically for language learning. Then we're going to discover some ways of finding these OERs for searching and finding. And then finally, we're going to narrow the focus a little bit and explore some more specific repositories and collections and communities that are really geared towards language learning OER. So just narrow things down a little bit. Okay, so we've kind of mentioned all of these things before in the previous talk and in your discussions, that these are things we think about when we think about OER. Not just textbooks, not just courseware, but syllabi, anything related to teaching and learning in the classroom or out of the classroom. And also in the field of foreign language teaching, it's been brought up that there's all this authentic content in the L2 that we're looking for too. So that's what makes language learning materials a little bit different, is that we have kind of a broader need to find this open content that we can use to turn it into pedagogical content. So I'm going to talk about both of these, both the traditional instructional materials and how to find just authentic content in the L2. I'm going to focus on material that's openly licensed. Again, that's not, there are plenty of open access resources out there as well, but the strategies I'm going to be focusing on today really are more focused on finding the material that is openly licensed. And, we went over this all in the morning, so you all understand that an open license means, the 4 R's are enabled. And really what the open license is it's an explicit document that tells you what exactly you can do with it. So Creative Commons just makes that easy. You can also have an OER that, you might have a page on your website where you just tell educators, okay, these are the ways you can use it, these are the ways you can't use it. But if you just put a Creative Commons license on it, that's a lot easier. But either way, that's what we need to know. We need that information of how exactly can I use this. And again, this is kind of review. We know that with an open license, you don't have to ask permission to use it. It can be better than just simply linking to the material. I know there's a lot of teachers who like to use content on YouTube, but there's always that fear, oh, the link's going to go away and then I won't have it, and is there any way I can just download it? Well, not legally, but if you're looking at Creative Commons licensed material, yes, you can legally. I mean, there's the technical capability as well as the legal ability to download that content and host it in a place where it will be stable and it will stick around. And then, of course, there's, in some cases, you are able to adapt and customize material that is openly licensed. So how do you tell if a website you're visiting has a Creative Commons license? You'll see it in different ways. You'll see the button with the icon, and it tells you exactly what the restrictions are. If you click on it, it's a link that goes to the Creative Commons site and tells you exactly what you can do with it. Sometimes people will just put a text link in the footer and you won't see the button. Sometimes it's in the sidebar. You'll get good at recognizing it. But one really cool thing about the fact that that license is embedded on the website is that makes it searchable by search engines. So a search engine can identify all of the websites that have that license on them. So Google knows which sites are Creative Commons licensed. So this is a really great search interface. It's actually not a search engine, but it's a link to many different places you can search for openly licensed content. You enter your search there, and then you say, I want something I can, and there's selections for if you want something you can use commercially. Obviously, that doesn't really apply here, but modify, adapt, or build on. If you want that remix capability, then you would check that. And then you can choose where you want to search. So Google, that's an obvious one to start with. And that way you will, everything you pull up in your Google search will be openly licensed. So you have no fear of using it, reusing it, copying it, etc. So if there's one URL that you remember from today, I would go for this one, because it's your gateway into all of these archives. Well, the entire web. I mean, it turns the entire web into an open learning repository, basically. YouTube. So YouTube, about a year ago, started offering the Creative Commons license. So when you upload a video to YouTube, you can now choose if you want to put that license on your video. They just passed the 4 million mark. So that's a lot of content that's there, and you are free to do anything you like with it. Some other sources, Wikimedia Commons. This is the sister site to Wikipedia. So all of the images that are on Wikipedia come from Wikimedia Commons. There's also videos and sounds on that site. Flickr, I'm sure you're all familiar with Flickr. 67 million photos on that site are shareable. So it's actually the Creative Commons share alike. So you can remix them, you can republish them. Project Gutenberg, these are electronic books, and these are in the public domain, actually. There's electronic versions and audio versions, and there are over 65 languages. Some of the language collections are fairly large. Okay, so what do we need to do once we find this Creative Commons license work? Again, these are just some details of what exactly does it mean to provide attribution. You have to credit the creator, provide the title and the URL, so the person who's using your work knows that, okay, they know exactly where to go for the original. So you can think of it as a way of also promoting your work by allowing it to be shared this way. You're going to have all those links back to your original. This is an interesting tool. It's actually a browser plugin that makes the whole attribution process simpler. You plug it in, and then when you're browsing, you'll see in your navigation bar there a little CC pops up. So whenever you're on a website that has the Creative Commons license on it, that will appear. And then if you click on it, it will automatically pull. You can choose to select the attribution and copy it, and then you have it copied and you just paste it into whatever it is you're creating. So that makes it a lot easier than trying to find out, okay, who's the creator and, you know, what URL do I use and everything like that. So I would check that out. I know it's for Firefox, and I'm sure Chrome. I don't know what all browsers have it, but that's a good tool. Okay, so we've sort of talked in general about, you know, these kind of open content repositories, how the Creative Commons license works, and now I want to go in a little narrower and talk about some specific repositories and how good or bad they are for language learning OER. And before I do that, just quickly, these are all things that you brought up when you're talking about your ideal OER, that it's going to, you know, meet with all these criteria, right? You're going to be able to match it easily with your learners, with the level, et cetera. You're going to, you know, it's going to be easy to plug in to your curriculum. The ease of use, obviously looking for formats that are flexible or content that's in multiple formats can be a real advantage when you're evaluating OER. Obviously, the license is an important thing to look at. Reputation of the author and peer review, and a lot of the repositories are really trying to build in that community review of resources. And then just in general, community support, who's using it, and how big of a group of people are using it, because the more community support it has, it's going to be a stronger resource. Okay, so here's some examples that you might be familiar with. Merlot, most of you have probably heard of Merlot, has checked it out? Okay, some of you, okay. Merlot has a really large collection of language materials. You can actually browse by languages. It's very well curated. They have editors working to collect materials. They have user-submitted materials, but also editors that go out and find materials for language learning. So it really is a good resource. The materials are not all OER. They're all online learning materials. The license can vary. And here's just, there's actually a world languages portal on Merlot. And we actually have, if you're interested, Laura Franklin, who is the editor of the languages section, gave a talk that we have online on our YouTube site, if you're interested in learning kind of more about what Merlot offers. And then you can see here, just on the side, there's a list of all the languages, so you can narrow by language and narrow by material type if you're looking for textbooks, if you're looking for a quiz or a test or a tutorial, or, you know, it's really broken down, and there's a lot of good metadata there for finding what you're looking for. Also, you can see on the side, there's ones that have floated up to the top. They're editor's choice. So they definitely have a system there for peer review and floating the best content up to the top. Okay, Oer Commons. This is a newer site. It really is focused around OER. It includes both big OER. You're going to find MIT courses in here, as well as little OER, you know, just a lesson plan that an educator submitted. It's a little, I agree that it's difficult to find things sometimes. They still have some work to do, I think, in their organization. The language collection is very small. You can't actually just go directly to a language collection. You have to go through just general humanities. So we've set up all of our materials in here. There is a little bit of a hurdle too, because they require that you have an explicit license, either Creative Commons or some terms of use. So in order to get your material in there, you really have to have thought that through. So it's not just any online open access material. It really is focused on the OER. They've also launched some new authoring features that they hope will make it easy for individual educators to create the materials directly in the site and then share them. So this is just how one of our sites looks, with the description and the metadata. They are doing some things with trying to align it to standards, but again, this is mostly non-language materials at this point. And you see, you can have an account here and save your favorite resources, and so both Merlot and Oer Commons are doing similar things in terms of really trying to provide community features, both in managing your own private collections of materials and also authoring materials directly in the repository. Both Merlot and Oer Commons now have authoring tools. So it's just like a basic word processor. Maybe you can link a video in there and you can create materials directly to be shared. Connections is another one, and this really is a repository as opposed to just a referatory that collects metadata. The Connections repository was developed in order to create and share small knowledge chunks that they call modules, and then people can put modules together into courses. We haven't been using this. This hasn't been used a lot for language learning yet, but it is a very powerful tool. Okay, we also have, there's also language centers such as Coral and other various institutional archives. I just want to highlight a few that I think are some interesting examples of using the idea of open educational resources for language learning. Of course, Coral, we have our materials page currently just broken down by language. When you click in, you get a bit of a description. And one new thing that we've been doing is adding user-created materials that relate to that original resource. So, you know, in this case, this was an instructor who was using these Portuguese videos that we had online, and she had actually created lesson plans that went with each of the worksheet, or with each of the videos. And she said, hey, I have got these. Would you be interested in sharing them back with your users? And of course we said, yes, that would be great. And so we have them here in our, we have the metadata here, and then also linked from the site with the actual videos. It'll be also linked there. So we're really trying to build, you know, we know we have these communities around our resources, and we're trying to enable more sharing of those related materials. Of course, we're part of a network also of language resource centers that have all kinds of resources. Again, not all of them are open. Some of them you even have to pay for, but if you go to the website, you can search across all the language resource center materials. There is a checkbox if you're just looking for free resources. You can check that and get a lot of different materials. This is a really interesting example. Loro this is by the Open University in the UK, and this really is intended to be an OER repository specifically for language learning materials. So they're using this. All of their they do distance education, and all of their foreign language educators use this repository, but they've also opened it up so that any educator can get an account here and start creating and sharing and remixing materials. And it is mostly, it's mostly lesson plans and classroom activities. They don't have, you know, the sort of, they don't have a lot of, you know, the videos and things like that. You can add videos, but it really is mostly things like lesson plans. But it's really interesting because you can see it is a community, so you've got the details of the person who added it. And this was actually a resource, so it's about famous buildings, and it was something that was they have some resources in here that the university created and put them in here. So this teacher took one that had been created by the university, and she adapted it. She says in the comments here that she went through and she added some famous buildings from Ireland because those were the students she was teaching. So that's just a great example of how opening things up and making them editable, you can really localize. You don't have to start from scratch. You can take something that's existing and just modify, customize it a little bit, and then share it back. So I would encourage you to sign up for this and see what's there and see if you want to become part of that community, because it really is unique. I haven't seen much like it. Okay, this is just another example that I think is interesting, because so they've got authentic materials for less commonly taught languages, but they not only provide the materials, they also provide these lesson plans or sort of templates. So how can you use this authentic material? All of these lesson plans are Creative Commons licensed. So I think that's a good, you know, if we have a set of authentic resources, it's really good to have the accompanying instructional material and have that be shareable. I think that's a good model. And then here's another thing. I just came across this recently. I hadn't seen this before. Yeah, but so these are all Creative Commons licensed images, and they're organized by region, by language, and then within, if you click down a level, it'll be organized by themes. And it's really for, is it for teaching vocabulary mostly, or culture? But it's culturally appropriate for the language. And those are all Creative Commons licensed, and they've actually put together, it's quite sizable collection. I think another important and growing source are just the individuals that are out there curating materials for us and sharing those through social media. Twitter, there's a lot happening on Twitter. I know that there's this LangChat hashtag group that gets together on a regular basis. They actually all log in once a week, I think, and share ideas. They have a theme and they share ideas for materials or actual materials. So that's one community. For our materials, we started to use Facebook as a place for teachers to share about, you know, relevant things related to our materials. So our Facebook community for this resource now, I think, has like 7,000 likes, and it's really a pretty active place. So that's another way, if you get sort of plugged into those communities, of finding out about OERs. And this is, you know, there's social bookmarking sites. Delicious is sort of old news, I know. It's not used very much, but this is a collection of OER for language learning that I stumbled across, and it's all tagged with different levels, and you know, it's a lot of work. I think actually this might have been a grant-funded project, but there's lots of little. I'm sure all of you know people who do this kind of thing and put together these great collections. And you know, I think now probably it's not on Delicious, probably it's Pinterest or something like that. But I think social media is a great way to find out about OER. So, and what I think is really the future are these repositories that are really these remixing platforms. So you can find content, and directly in the site, you can take it and modify it and publish it and share it. So a few of those, I don't know if many of you are familiar, but YouTube has a video editor in it. And you can actually, if you're in the video editor, so I've just searched on, you know, I'm looking maybe for something about a French bakery. So I can search, and I have all these videos that are Creative Commons licensed here. I can pull them down and make my own video right there. You can add, also in YouTube, you know, you could add annotations if you wanted to have subtitles on part of it, or, you know, whatever you wanted to do with it. You can do whatever, just make it your own and then republish it to your own YouTube account. So that's really just, it makes it very simple to remix. This is another example. TED Ed has released this. They have this concept of flipping a video. It really is, they're trying to promote the use of video to create educational content that's wrapped around a video. We had a workshop earlier this summer where we played around with this a little bit. You can actually embed any, this is just a YouTube video from our Spanish in Texas site. You can embed any video from YouTube in this player. And then on the side, it's kind of hard to see here, but you can add information. So you can add questions for the learner to think about before they watch the video, some follow-up questions. I think eventually they're going to have the ability to add multiple choice questions and these kinds of things. And then you can share those with your students, and then your students can log in and actually respond, and then you can see their responses. So this is something new and kind of exciting in terms of being able to work with these multimedia materials. This is another example I just found out about recently. It's very similar to TED Ed, but it is really focused around language learning. This is a site, Videotech by Carleton University in Canada, and again, you can embed any video from YouTube in this interface, and then they've got a whole set of different exercises you can add, if multiple choice, various types of exercises that you can put with this video. It's only in French right now, but they are working on other languages, and it's all Creative Commons licensed. This is an interesting tool. So the idea behind OER Glue is that you should be able to easily gather resources and build a course out of them. And I actually honestly haven't used this very much. I think it's been in development for a while, and I looked at it early on, and it didn't seem that much, but I just recently went back and it seemed like it's coming along, so it'd be something worth checking out. And I just want to follow that with this quote. This is the CEO of Creative Commons, and she really emphasizes that the real magic is in the reuse and remix, and that's really what we're striving for with OER. And eventually, I think it's going to become easier and easier. It seems like there really is this, there's a lot of stuff happening with authoring tools and making it just seamless to author something and share it. So I'm excited to see what happens.